talking about the Astros and a possible start to the baseball season in May. And with the Astros aging veterans, especially pitching-wise with Verlander and Greinke, Lance, is it imperative that we play baseball and have a full season this year? Otherwise, the Astros' door is going to be closing.
I think there's a chance that that's the case. When you look at their two best pitchers, they're not going to get better with age. They're going to start to decline. And so I think the concern that you have is that door is starting to close, that window is starting to close, at least from a pitching standpoint. And so if you don't get something done this year, I think it's a big concern for me, John, because you're just – and I don't care if they don't throw at all. Their arms are not going to get stronger and better. They are going to potentially decline. And I think for that reason, because they're your two best pitchers, you're 1 and you're 2, I think it's a big, big deal. If they were 3 and 4, it might be different, but they're 1 and 2.
Right. Those are your top two guys, and they are older. And listen, they're talking about starting in May. Right. That could be a problem. I've never worried about Justin Verlander's groin before, but I would worry about it if in fact they do have to start in May, because there's a possibility he's not ready yet after having the surgery. So that is another possible complication. I just don't see how they could possibly start without a month getting ready. So the earliest they could possibly start would be June.
Let's say that they did start the season later and there is an abbreviated season. Now that plays into the Astros' favor for the same reasons that, if you had a 180 game schedule, which is what you have once you get into the playoffs, Justin Verlander tails off. As long as he's a veteran, he knows how to keep himself in shape. If you have a shorter season, I think that does help older pitchers. And I think that is something that, could potentially help, at least with Justin Verlander.
Well, and to that point, we see so many guys who have career records in innings pitched, and Justin Verlander had to pitch every inning so that he could get the 3,000 strikeouts, the 300 strikeouts, to 20 wins so that he could win the Cy Young. And then he kind of petered out in the postseason because he was beat. This offseason where he can't throw nearly as much, where you don't have the extended spring training, where you don't have all of those exhibition games, maybe it will be a benefit to Justin Verlander and to Zach Greinke.
And another thing, John, is Springer, Brantley, Yuli Gurriel, and Reddick, but especially Brantley, the way he hit Springer. They could get another deal done with Springer. I don't know about if you do that with Brantley. I don't think you do it with Reddick. With Yuli, he's getting older. So that window of opportunity from a contractual standpoint, there's other teams facing that issue as well. But for the Astros, it's very specific to important players in the middle of their lineup.
Yeah, you're going to have to make a decision about Correa as well. That's another one that is coming up anyway. This will be interesting. You can't lose Springer. You just can't. Reddick, bye. Tucker's got to play, though. I mean, this is kind of a big deal that Tucker step up this year, just like it's been important for Forrest Whitley. Hopefully this offseason has been really good for Whitley has got to step up. Tucker has got to step up. These are guys that you have relied on that you can't trade away because they're so important to the organization. Well, it's about time they became important to the organization and actually got on the field and actually contributed day in and day out. You need those guys. So, yeah, this is a big time. Losing Yuli's bat, but Yuli, like you said, is getting older. I don't know how much more of that bat has got in it. He's an older player. The Astros didn't get him until he was an older player in Cuba. So this is going to be an interesting time, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not this aging Astros team, whether or not this window is closing.